It was an iconic day in the Arab Spring movement as Egypt's former president, Hosni Mubarak, was sentenced to life in prison for the killing of hundreds of protesters during last year's uprising. Put on trial by his very own people in a landmark case, Mubarak showed up to court lying on a hospital bed and wearing sunglasses. His former interior minister was also sentenced to life, while his two sons were acquitted of corruption charges.
15 months after Hosni Mubarak was toppled, the fate of Egypt's deposed president was decided in the trial of the century, where he became the first Arab leader to be tried in his own country by his own people. The verdict handed down found Mubarak guilty of conspiring to kill hundreds of protesters during the Arab Spring Revolution last year that put an end to the Mubarak regime. More than 850 protesters were killed, many of them shot to death in Cairo and other major cities. Listening to the verdict from behind an iron-barred cage, defiant to the end, Mubarak laid stone-faced on a hospital gurney before being wheeled away. Punished to a life behind bars wasn't harsh enough for those who wanted the 84-year-old to be put to death instead. Chaos erupted inside the courtroom when supporters and opponents began yelling and brawling. Outside the courtroom, protesters threw rocks at riot police standing guard. Mubarak's two sons, Gamal and Allah, were acquitted of corruption charges, but they still face a separate trial on charges of insider trading. Former Interior Minister Habib al-Adli was also sentenced to life for the killing of protesters, while 6 other security officials were acquitted. The judge delivered a harsh statement before handing down the sentences. He described Mubarak's error as 30 years of darkness and a darkened nightmare that ended only when Egyptians rose up to demand change. Egypt's general prosecutor has ordered the immediate transfer of Mubarak from his presidential suite in a Cairo hospital to a maximum security prison.